Hello, beautiful people. My name is Larry Messenger and I make fishing YouTube videos. If this is your first video watching on my channel, normally I don't wear this hat, but I had an epiphany one night. I was sitting in my room, I was thinking, I was like, chefs, they make food for people. I personally make food for bass, artificial food, of course. I was like, why not order me a little chef's hat to rock when I make these soft plastic videos. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. It was kind of awkward. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start rocking this chef's hat because I'm cooking up these baits for these fish because they're gonna eat them. Yeah, so we got our chef's hat on and we are gonna cook up some baits. Today is just gonna be like a simple video. All right, so in today's video, what I'm gonna be doing is just showing you straight up how to make soft plastic baits. A lot of people always ask questions. I'm going to try to just show the whole process. If you've watched some of the videos before, this one, it's gonna be the same thing, but I'm just gonna try to talk about everything that I do, the whole process, everything. Whole 9 yards. To start off, I'm gonna just talk about everything that I use to make my soft plastic baits. This is everything that you're gonna need to make your soft plastic baits. First, this is an injector. This is a 9.5 ounce injector. There's injectors smaller than this for a little bit less money. I believe this is a 4 ounce injector, so this is gonna be about half the price of this one. So if you're just starting out, this 4 ounce injector will do fine. So you're gonna need a color. This color right here is watermelon. This is what we're gonna be using today. We're gonna be making watermelon red stick baits. Color is what you're gonna add to your plastisol to give your stick baits or whatever lures that you're making the color. Next, you're going to need some glitter. Next is gonna be hardener. Hardener is optional. For mine, I like to put some in. What hardener does is it's self-explanatory. It just makes your baits harder. So basically you can fish them longer. They're not gonna break apart after a couple fish. This is your plastisol. This is just the base mixture of your baits. It's what you put into the microwave, heat it up, and then you inject it into your mold. Next, this is your mold. This is a 10 cavity 5-inch stick bait mold right here. Next thing you're going to want to have is a glass measuring cup to put into your microwave. Glass, also you're gonna want some gloves or something because sometimes the glass will be hot coming out of the microwave, so you don't burn your hands. I burn mine just about every video, so makes your hands tough if you don't wear gloves, I guess. The next thing you're gonna wanna have is some salt. This is salt is to weigh your baits down, give them weight in the water so they don't float. You don't want your baits to float in the water. Salt will help your baits to sink faster. Last thing you're going to want is a microwave. If you've been following this channel for the last couple months, you know that this microwave, we bought it off of Facebook Marketplace and it does its job. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need to go spend $100 on a new microwave. You can get a microwave that was used to cook questionable substances in the past like this one was, but we're not gonna talk about that on the video. That is my personal setup. You can do it a little bit different if you want to. You can get different molds. They make tons of different molds, different colors. The cool thing about making your own baits is you can mix and match your colors. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff with them. So, all right guys, we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna show you how to make these stick baits. All right guys, so what your first steps are going to be, take your glass measuring cup. Normally for making my baits, I like to just start off with a cup of plastisol. You could get a bigger cup and do 2 cups, but I just find that a cup is normally a lot easier to work with. Take your plastisol, pour a cup, fill your measuring cup up to a cup. Also, I didn't show it, but you want to shake your plastisol. Add some hardener. I normally do about a tablespoon, but normally I do a little bit less. I just kind of give it one of those, just give it a fair amount. Mix it around a little bit. From here, I put my plastisol into the microwave for 5 minutes, but I only let it run for 3 minutes. And I pull it out at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, stir it, put it back in for the last 30 seconds. Just put it in the microwave. Set the microwave for 5 minutes. Then we just wait. Oh, also, one thing I forgot to mention. One thing you are going to want to have is a thermometer. You want your plastisol to be somewhere around 350 degrees when you inject it. We're at about 335 degrees, so we're gonna wait to inject it. What we're going to go ahead and do is add our color, salt, and glitter to it. That we're gonna be using today is watermelon. Common color when you're bass fishing. So we got our watermelon color added. Cup of plastisol. Normally I do a little bit less than half a cup of salt. Give that a stir. You're gonna wanna make sure you mix the salt in really good because it will clump up. You're gonna wanna make sure that you mix the salt in really good because it will clump up if you don't. All right, so next thing, we're gonna add our flake to it. This is red flake for our watermelon red bait. Scoop of that. Gonna mix it all together again. So we're gonna put that back in the microwave. We're gonna do it for about 15 seconds. What we are gonna do now, we're gonna stir it one more time. You're going to take your injector and put in your plastisol and just slowly inject or pull it into your injector. When you do this, make sure you don't put the injector at the very bottom of the cup or it's gonna be really hard to draw. I made that mistake a lot. Next, you're gonna wanna shoot a little bit of it. I have a fan going, that's why it's drying so quick on the sides. And you're just gonna slowly inject it into your mold. I have to keep a fan on so I don't pass out in here while I'm doing this. And just hold pressure on it. You'll know when to stop pushing down because it'll get hard to push. You keep pushing, you'll flash, which basically means like the plastisol will go where it's not supposed to go in the mold, and it'll leave you like a little thin layer of plastic that you don't want. Pull it off, and you're gonna wanna add some extra to the top because that top layer is gonna go back down into the mold a little bit just to make sure your mold is filled all the way. Sorry guys, so you're gonna have a little bit left in your injector. So what you do, you just shoot it back into your cup. All right, so people always ask how long does it take for your baits to cure inside the mold? How long does it take for them to dry, blah, blah, blah. I normally say give them about 1 to 2 minutes just to make sure that they are completely cured. You're not gonna burn yourself when you open the mold. It's been about 2 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and open our mold up. So there it is. You got 10 watermelon red stick baits right there. But when you pull these out of the mold, what you're gonna want to do is put these in some cold water for about 30 minutes. So first they can, make sure when you put them in the water, they're straight too. So you can just make sure that they're not gonna bend on you. Because if they bend, they're not dry yet, you have to wait. You need to wait about 24 hours before you take them out and fish, because if you don't, they're just gonna break apart on you. In the water, just make sure that they're straight also. Of this, you can just drop that back down in your cup and use it for your next melt. Or you don't want to leave them in the water for too long, because if you do, they will start to swell. It's the same thing as like when you find a soft plastic or whatever that's been underwater for a while. That'll happen with those if you leave them in for too long. What we're just gonna do the whole process again, just so you can see it one more time. Normally off of a cup of plastisol with this mold, it's gonna be different for each mold that you have, but off of a cup of plastisol, I can fill this mold up twice. I'm gonna mix it around a little bit just to get that hot plastisol mixed in with the plastisol we just put in there. This time when we put it back into the microwave, we're only gonna do about 45 seconds because you will burn this plastisol. I probably burn plastisol once a day. That's not something you wanna do, is burn plastisol. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put this back in the microwave for about 45 seconds and we'll pull it out when it's hot. All right guys, I keep this towel just for the second time when I do this, so the plastisol lean back so I can make sure I get it all and don't leave any. It's hot enough this time, so we're gonna draw it a second time, make sure we get enough so we fill up our mold. You're gonna just inject it the same way as you did the first time. Guys, when you get to this point right here, what I like to do, let this dry, and it's really easy to peel out of the cup when it dries. So what I do, I just peel it out of the cup and put it in a plastic bag. And when you do that, say if you make watermelon red again, you can just use this. So you're not using more plastisol, you just throw this back in there so you don't have to waste all that plastisol. Probably enough plastisol in there to fill the mold, but it's just when you stir it around, it gets stuck up around the sides and stuff. It's hard. So I have a whole tub I'll show y'all of just plastic that I leave. Or say if I'm showing somebody or doing a TikTok or whatever with making baits, I just grab some out of the tub and use it there. All right guys, so this is my tub of just plastic. Got some clear plastic right here, some gray watermelon. See, I make watermelon a lot. I got watermelon. This is like a watermelon candy color. I tried that, and the good thing about this is I can put all this stuff in that cup and remelt it. Just gonna unscrew our screws right here. Go ahead and pull that apart. It'll open nice. It opened nice for it that time. Normally it doesn't do that. Normally the baits all try to fall out and stuff. It's ready for the water, ready to go catch some monster bass. What's really cool about this is like you can make all types of different colors. As far as it being cheaper, it depends on how much you fish. If you're only fishing once a month, it's definitely not cheaper than just going and buying a $5 pack of stick baits. But if you're going fishing every day and going through a lot of plastic, and the good thing about this is too, like if you have some crawls or bug baits, brush hogs, flukes, whatever, you can just remelt them into whatever you want them to be. So we're gonna go ahead and put these back in the water and I'll be right back. All right guys, so that is that. We're gonna clean this stuff up real quick. Watch how fast I can clean this up. All right, so guys, we just got done making our baits. This is what we came up with. We have watermelon stick baits right here. I think these are pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool thing that you can create this in your garage. If you don't like this color, you can add more colorant to it. You can make them darker. If you want them to be lighter, you can add less colorant to it. You can make them lighter. If you want to add some black flake in, give it a little bit more texture, you can do that. If you want to change your flake size, color, all that good stuff, there's so many different possibilities you can do. Channel, I make baits out of Kool-Aid, so I actually have some Kool-Aid sitting up here that I'm gonna make some videos with later on. And also, when you start making your baits, you gotta get you a hat too. Kind of like this. You know, you just kind of sit them on your hat whenever you get done with them. You know, you gotta cook up, you gotta get yourself in the proper mind state. You think that, ooh, that was kind of, I like how that happened. Let's do that again. Chefs wear these hats because they're whipping up the food for people, but you know, we wear these hats because we're whipping up the food for the fish, because you know, we're catching bass on these stick baits. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you like this video, check out more on my channel. You know, we make fishing videos, soft plastic videos, really anything. I'm gonna start, I have some stuff outside of fishing. Apparently I have some pretty cool people that live around me, together with some of them, and we're gonna make some juicy content for y'all. Thank you so much for watching the video. Until we speak again, don't forget to fish them hard and have a good day. You know what I need? I need one of those little things, because I'm really bad at talking. Like, I suck at talking on these videos. So I need one of those things that, you know, I can start doing that. No, this is what I'm gonna start doing. Okay, thank y'all for watching. That was stupid. Definitely not gonna do that. I wish I had good ideas.